They want you so desperately that it's tearing them apart from the inside out. And right now, in this very moment, you're about to discover the raw truth about what they're really feeling, why they can't stop thinking about you, and what's about to happen next that will change everything between you two. Here's what's actually going on behind the scenes that they'll never admit out loud. They're trying so hard to act normal when they're around you, like nothing's different, like you're just another person in their world. But deep down, something about you has completely hijacked their mind. They're fascinated by you in a way that honestly scares them a little. Your vibe, your energy, the way you carry yourself, it leaves them absolutely speechless. When they look at you, it's like their brain short circuits. The aura you radiate has this magnetic pull that they literally cannot resist, no matter how hard they try. It's like you've got this invisible hook buried deep in their chest, and every time they see you or even think about you, it tugs harder. And here's the part that's almost funny if it wasn't so intense for them. They can't fake being unaffected around you. This isn't one of those situations where they can just pretend until the feeling passes. No, this is something way more powerful, way more consuming. No matter how much they try to play it cool, they can't hide what you do to them. They smile, they nod, they go through the motions of their day pretending everything's fine, but inside, complete chaos, hardula havoc. You've become their favorite temptation and their biggest weakness, all wrapped into one person, and they have no idea how to handle it. This isn't some mild crush they can just ignore. This isn't a passing thought that fades after a few days. This is the kind of desire that creeps into their thoughts when they're supposed to be focused on something completely different. And they never saw this coming. They never expected you to become this huge disruption in their life. But that's exactly what's happened. They can't focus at work anymore. They can't sleep properly because thoughts of you keep them awake. They can't think straight because their mind constantly drifts back to you no matter what they're doing. It's disturbing for them, honestly, because they don't know how to control these thoughts that are hovering over them constantly. You're living rent-free in their mind 24/7 and they're completely powerless to evict you. This desire hijacks their attention when they're trying to stay composed, when they're trying to be professional, when they're trying to focus on literally anything else. And here's what's really wild about this whole thing. Instead of hating how much you affect them, they actually love it. They're in love with your personality, with that certain edge you have that says you're not someone who can be taken for granted. You're not easy to please and you don't pretend to be. Your whole energy screams expensive, like luxury, like something rare that can't be found just anywhere. You're direct and you don't hide behind politeness or shy away from being straightforward when you need to be. That's why your energy carries this pull that makes it impossible for them to just stand on the sidelines. There's this thing about you where your silence feels louder than most people's words. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room or the most outspoken. You carry a different kind of power. It's the kind where you walk into a space and people's heads turn automatically. You don't have to say anything or do anything special. Your presence alone, your gaze, is enough to make people either want to get closer or back away entirely. That's the frequency you operate on, and it's magnetic. They're obsessed with what some people might call your villain energy. Not because you're actually a bad person, but because you have that confident, unbothered vibe that refuses to please everyone. A lot of people these days are afraid of that kind of energy because they're so used to people who bend over backwards to be liked. But you do what you want and you don't lose sleep over what people think about it. That's real power, and it's incredibly attractive to someone who's been watching you. You might be quick-tempered sometimes, maybe a little impatient, and you don't like waiting around or dealing with delays. You have this fiery, passionate energy inside you, and instead of finding that off-putting, they find it absolutely intoxicating. Most people would feel some kind of displeasure or intimidation from that intensity, but not them. They crave it. They're drawn to it like a moth to a flame, and it's driving them to a level of obsession that they can't control anymore. They're holding back right now, but it's getting harder every single day because they never planned on feeling this way about you. It just happened, slowly at first, almost harmlessly. Maybe it started with a look that lasted just a second too long. Maybe you caught their eye one day and smiled. Just a casual, friendly smile because your eyes happened to meet. It was harmless in that moment, completely innocent. Or maybe you had a brief conversation that seemed normal at the time, but somehow it stayed with them way longer than it should have. Your voice lingered in their head even after the conversation ended. Something about that interaction flipped a switch inside them, and suddenly everything shifted. Now they can't shake you no matter how hard they try. You've become the thought that interrupts their daily routine. You're the name that surfaces in their mind when their guard is down. You're the presence they feel even when you're not physically in the room. They try so hard to keep it cool, but their composure is cracking. They're still replaying that last conversation you had with them, analyzing every word, trying to find hidden meanings. They're wondering if it's just them who's thinking this deeply about it, or if maybe you were dropping hints too. They're trying to figure out if there's something more happening here, because wanting you quietly from a distance isn't enough anymore. Let me tell you what's really happening energetically here. You carry this powerful feminine energy that's intuitive, nurturing, and creative. You might have been wounded before in the past. Maybe you went through something difficult or dealt with relationship trauma that changed you. But here's the thing. Whatever you're doing now, you're not doing it to provoke them or seduce them intentionally. You didn't set out to make this person fall this hard for you. You never tried to tempt them, but your intuitive side is probably already picking up on the fact that something's different about the way they're acting around you. They might be behaving differently, trying to have longer conversations with you, asking more personal questions, like they're trying to carve out a space for themselves in your life. You're attracting this person not because of anything you consciously did, but because of the journey you've been on. The gratitude you've shown, the awakening you've experienced, the lessons you've learned, and the way you carry yourself now after everything you've been through. Despite all the pain and challenges you faced, you stood strong. You showed gratitude to the universe for giving you a second chance to rebuild your life the way you wanted. And because of that, abundance is actively trying to flow toward you right now. If you've been blocking this energy, stop doing that immediately, because success is on its way to you. And I'm not just talking about financial success here. I'm talking about emotional stability, a safe space where you feel valued, a person who won't judge you or try to control you or force their feelings on you. This is someone who will hold their position in your life at a respectful distance until you're ready to open up and accept them fully. They don't want to just stand on the sidelines and watch you end up with someone else. They're going to do whatever is in their power to get your attention because they see you as their person, their match, their destiny. The energy here is pointing toward a reunion, a soul connection that you tied with this person a long time ago, maybe even in a previous life, and it got severed somehow. If you've dealt with some karmic situations before meeting this person, that was meant to happen to teach you what you truly desire, to help you see your own worth, to make you understand that you need to love and cherish yourself first before giving your heart to someone else. This energy is screaming soulmate connection. This is a fated partnership. You genuinely have a past life connection with this person, and they're returning to you now. That's why, despite everything that's happened between you two, they can't shake their feelings. There's something deeper going on here that even they might not fully understand yet. They don't know why they feel so intensely for you. And until the truth comes to the surface, neither of you will fully grasp what's happening. But the truth will reveal itself. They want proximity. They want access. They want to feel your energy up close. And they hate how much they care. But there's no way they can look the other way now. Your energy binds them, not in some reckless, chaotic way, but in a focused, intentional way. There's a hunger in their attention now, a seriousness in how they engage with you, a weight behind their words that wasn't there before. And I'm seeing that you're going to hear from them soon. Very soon. It could be tomorrow, it could be later today, it could be within the next few days or week, but you are definitely going to hear from them. They're not here to judge you or compare you to anyone else. They see you for who you are and they accept you completely because they see what others don't see. You might have shown this person a side of yourself that you've never shown anyone else. Maybe your most vulnerable side, maybe your most intense or even aggressive side, the real unfiltered you that only one or two people in your entire life have ever witnessed. And here's the beautiful part. They like that side of you. They love your raw authenticity because it makes them feel special, like you've chosen to reveal your true self to them and no one else. They feel safe and turned on at the same time. It's something that can't really be explained with words alone. It's deeply sentimental and emotional. This person is serious about you. They don't just admire you from afar. They ache for you. And the reason this is driving them insane is simple. They're not used to wanting something this badly without already having it. They're used to being in control of their emotions, knowing who to love, how much time to invest in thinking about someone. This person is usually very calculated, very analytical, very punctual and structured. But you interrupted their entire system. You disturbed their carefully organized world completely. They're used to certainty, but now uncertainty surrounds them. They're used to getting what they set their sights on, but with you they don't know how to claim you, or have you, or even get your full attention. You didn't come with instructions. You didn't come with guarantees. You came wrapped in mystery, with a presence that can't be controlled or predicted. And lately their dreams about you have been increasing so much that it's become a daily occurrence, an unbreakable habit. You appear in their dreams constantly, and when they wake up they feel this nostalgic pull like you were never really far away, like you've been next to them this whole time. These feelings, these synchronicities, these signs are intensifying their obsession, their love, their jealousy, their possessiveness, and their craving for union with you. Because here's the thing about dreams. Just thinking about someone doesn't make them appear in your dreams. There has to be something deeper connecting you. Dreams are mysterious, and when a particular person keeps showing up in your dreams again and again, whether you want them to or not, whether you're actively thinking about them or not, it means something significant. Sometimes you can think about someone constantly and they never appear in your dreams, and other times you dream about people you've never even met in real life. It's strange and it stirs up emotions that are hard to explain. The depth of this connection is increasing day by day because of these signs and synchronicities, and their desire for you is reaching a dangerous level where they might not be able to hold back much longer. The more composed and unbothered you are, the more undone they feel. They notice how you don't over-explain yourself, how you don't chase reactions or seek validation from anyone. You exist in your own world on your own terms, and that pulls them in even harder. They want to know what it feels like to be close to you, not just physically but emotionally, energetically, intimately. They want to understand you, to be let into your world. So you might have a sudden encounter with this person where they ask you out on a date or invite you to dinner. They're going to try to create opportunities to spend more time with you because they want to spoil you with what they have, with what they can offer. You're an enigma to them, a mystery they desperately want to solve. You don't open your world easily to just anyone, and they know that, so they're waiting, watching, feeling, and all that unspoken longing is building unbearable pressure inside them. They want to claim you fully and do whatever it takes to keep you safe. Their heart chakra is wide open right now, maybe even overactive, which is why these passionate, intimate feelings are becoming heavier and more intense. You can feel it in the air when you're around them. Sometimes their gaze pierces right through you, like they're seeing directly into your soul, like they're undressing you with their eyes alone. Their eyes say more than their words ever could. They don't just look at you, they study you. They don't just listen to you, they observe every detail. And the more they observe, the harder it becomes to stay quiet about what they're feeling. Because desire like this doesn't just fade away over time, it intensifies. You've become a temptation for them, not just in a physical sense, but on a soul level. You represent something they want to experience, not just admire from a distance. They imagine what it would be like to have you close, to feel your presence without any distance between you, to know exactly where they stand with you. And those imaginings don't feel light or casual. They feel serious, focused, almost possessive. Not in a controlling, toxic way, but in an I don't want to lose you kind of way. They don't like the idea of someone else getting the version of you they want for themselves. They don't like the thought of being on the outside of your life looking in. So their energy is shifting. They're leaning in more now.
Tree.
They're paying closer attention. They're finding excuses to connect with you more frequently, to be part of your daily life. Because at this point, staying silent and distant feels heavier than being honest about what they feel. And soon something's going to give. It might come out as a confession wrapped in calm, measured words, a compliment that feels more like a declaration, a message that carries way more emotion than you expected. But when it happens, you'll know immediately, because it won't feel casual or offhand. It will feel intentional, deliberate. They won't be testing the waters anymore. They'll be stepping fully into them, not impulsively or recklessly, but with complete clarity about what they want. And the reason this feels so inevitable is because you didn't create this desire by trying to manipulate or seduce anyone. You created it simply by being grounded in yourself, by being authentic. You don't chase interest, you attract it naturally. You don't force attention, you command it just by existing. Your presence feels stable, never needy. Your energy feels confident without being loud or obnoxious. And that kind of genuine confidence is absolutely intoxicating to the right person. It makes them want more, makes them want to get closer, makes them desperate to know where they stand with you. They're not just drawn to your physical appearance, though that's part of it. They're drawn to your composure, to the way you don't rush into connections, to the way you don't overshare your heart with everyone, to the way you fiercely protect your peace. You feel rare to them, like something precious and hard to find. And rare things are hard to get, and even harder to let go of once you have them. That's exactly why this desire has crossed over into obsession territory. Not chaotic, destructive obsession, but focused, intentional, consuming obsession. They don't want to be just a passing presence in your life. They want to be significant. They want to matter to you the way you've come to matter to them. And very soon that intention is going to become visible. Maybe not in some big dramatic scene or over-the-top love declaration, but in a way that leaves absolutely no room for doubt about how they feel. Because when someone wants you this badly, this deeply, this completely, eventually the truth has to come out. There's no containing it forever. The shift has already started. The energy between you is already changing, already building towards something significant. And whatever's happening is happening for a very specific reason. So trust the divine plan. Trust the process. Trust the timing of it all. Because everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. This connection isn't random. This pull between you isn't accidental. This is destiny weaving itself into reality right before your eyes. And all you have to do is stay grounded in who you are and let it unfold naturally.